Heyo! Welcome everybody to Salamander Racing. I am Salamander. Most people just call me Sal. Got a little bit of a different look going on today. Got myself a new intro video. Got these headsets on now, so testing that out. There's a couple other tests I'm going to be running tonight. I'm hoping you guys are patient with me and can help me out with that kind of stuff, so I appreciate that. Hey Rob, thanks for stopping by early. Nice to see you. Always nice to see you. I gotta figure out what we are going to do tonight. You know, actually, let's just go right to the game screen. Because one of the things I need to test out is I'm supposed to have the chat reader show up on here now. Instead of actually hearing it to you guys, it's now going to be in my headset. So it doesn't need to come out the speaker and doesn't display through YouTube. But it should have the text on here. And I may need to troubleshoot that. So if there's anybody in chat, I can send a quick message in chat. Like a testing message. Otherwise, I'm sure I could do my own test message as well. Test. Ooh, it's there, but oh boy, it's small. Okay, so let's see. We can make that bigger. And we should probably change the color. There we go. All right, it's showing up. But, all right, first things first. Size needs to be bigger. That's too small. Oh, it disappeared already. Dang it. And I think I want it to be white. Instead of black. Let's skip. There we go. That looks better. That definitely looks better. Let's see if at least you guys can see it. Good. want to get the actual like tachometer and everything up. You know, it disappears too quickly though. There's a timer on here. Messages disappear after, let's say, 30 seconds. Let's try that. Here, we'll create a room. We'll create a Joker Series room in case anybody wants to come in for that. RJ. I appreciate that. All right, let's move this chat box. There we go. There. Actually, I think that's about where I want it positioned, because then when I do the picture-in-picture, that'll still show up. Is that too big now? How you doing tonight, RJ? Hope you enjoy some movie time. That's a movie time sounds good. Actually, I think that might be a little. I think maybe I made it too big. That's slightly smaller. And there, I think that's set. So now it's. All right. Well, there, I think I got that knocked out too. Awesome. All right, so I gotta figure out what we want to do here. This is going to be kind of a, like the cover photo says, a bit of a whatever kind of night. We can just sort of do whatever we feel like. I got a Joker Series lobby up in case anybody wants to come save it. Otherwise, I've got gold on all the time trials, so I don't need to do that. I mean, I could always run open lobbies, just for the heck of it, instead of doing dailies. Or I could run some daily trial, just to see where I'm at there. I haven't done dailies in forever. I don't know that I'd run a daily, but I could see where I am in comparison to others. We got someone dropping in already. Josh! Welcome, Josh. Let's save the settings. There, so I'll be anxious to see what kind of times Josh here ends up getting compared to the kinds of times I was seeing when I was running laps. That would be a good one to know. So I'm assuming Josh is in chat here. He's usually around. The F12, the Berlinetta. The Ferrari. Oh, out on track already. That fast right-hander, it's gonna be a doozy. And did not get stopped in time. Definitely did not get stopped in time. Now we do have for this event, we are doing racing tires, but these cars still have lots of power, not a lot of downforce, so they're a bit of a handful to drive. See how Josh does here. Comes around Parabolica. Get all that speed up for the right-hander. You know, unlike the different group cars, you cannot take this right-hander flat out. It is not going to happen. Whoop! Ooh, he saved it. Yeah, most of the time, as soon as the tire touched the grass, you were just gone. He saved it. Oh, almost got it stopped that time. So the Joker, I do have the demo of the Joker on the website, but I can also demonstrate. We are at the no chicane layout, so the Joker is simply taking the chicane. I shall demonstrate. So you can take the Joker without, or you can take the chicane without getting reset. So just like that. Obviously, you can't do it coming out of the pits. As usual, our rules are not on the first lap, not on the last lap, not on an out lap. But I did it there just to show you. No, well, and actually, I don't know if you end up going in that middle section. I wonder if it would. I guess I didn't try, like, screwing up the Joker lap. Weird. The audio in my headphones sounds so much different than what it sounds like coming out of my speakers. I may have to tweak my headset because the sound of this car is very odd. I think there's supposed to be like an EQ. I'm really curious why the audio sounds so weird. Like I'm not hearing. Oh, you know what it is? Is I'm getting this sound from. Okay. I'll bet you it's the fact that I'm running it from the line out on my my capture card, and I wonder if that line just messes with the audio. I may have to figure out how to solve for that if I can. Otherwise, that's going to be very distracting. What this sounds like. I mean, it works, but it's distracting. The music, like when I'm playing music, it sounds really good, but the in-game sounds horrible. Now what's he in? Oh, now he's in the 177. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Very interesting, but yeah, let's see how Josh keeps getting around here. Oh, that is so distracting. I'm going to have to figure out... Actually, do I have... Am I putting the filters on here? Oh, I did the noise suppression. Let me turn that off. Well, there we go. Okay, so the noise suppression filter that I put on was messing with it. Now it sounds normal. Huh. Alright, that's good to know. Alright, what's Josh going to do here? I think he's just trying to get a handle on the handling of the cars, for one. I think he's just got, yeah, just default color on this one. I hope Josh got a chance to save the settings. So anybody out there watching, they can also come in and save the settings. These cars definitely have a little bit of different handling characteristics. They're similar. They're definitely similar, but there are some definite nuanced differences between the three cars. And I'd mentioned in the Discord chat today that the Aston Martin, the 177, is a bit special. I know they're doing away with it here, but you need an invite to buy it. So if you don't own it, then you have to get lucky and get an invite for it within the next month to be able to go buy the thing. Otherwise, you still have two choices. starting to figure it out. I think he just picked up a penalty, though. Right, I'm also in the 177, so let's compare. Now, granted, I've done a bunch of practice laps while I was trying to figure this out, so... Not being smooth. Almost lost it. Josh is way faster than me, which is pretty typical. Down to a 37.4 now. Oh, that's going to be a pen. Big pen. What would I have gotten? Better than the 41? 38.2? Oh, he's back in the F12. Back in the Ferrari. The 36.914. Big chunk of time taken off there. VKG in here. My keyboard hooked up. A little drifting through a Ascari there. I think that's Ascari. That's Ascari. This is Parabolica. And then, oh, Lesmo 1 and 2. That's the other corners. Actually, while I was looking at this track, I was doing a bunch of research on the old track, the big oval that they have in here. It's really interesting stuff, to be honest. You guys blinker on. Is he going to do the Joker? Oh, he is going to do the Joker. Test out the stopping, where you need to stop for that. Let's see. Well, there he cut it. It did not reset him. So you can miss it, and it doesn't reset you. Which is good. VKG hasn't selected a car. I don't know if he's trying to figure out which cars to use. VKG, there you are. So there's the Aston Martin 177. There's the car that Josh is in, which is the Corvette C7 ZR1 from 2019. And the third one is the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, which I believe is the 2012 model. So those three. Yes, Josh, the brakes. These road cars with their brakes. And the fact that they get up to 200 miles an hour, that, yeah, getting them woed down this is a lot like Daytona. Daytona was really difficult to get the cars actually woed down for the Joker lap. So doing that on this one is going to be equally difficult. As far as the Joker lap goes, this is much more similar to the Daytona race than the Tsukuba one that we just did. You know, the strategy and how you can handle your car at Tsukuba is very different to this one. The cars handle very similar to the ones that we used for Daytona, but clearly there's a lot more corners and some braking that you have to do. So should be very interesting. Yep, so tires, I have it set to racing soft and racing medium are allowed. Racing medium is required. So you at least have to do mediums. You know, depending on what you figure out for tire wear, maybe you can run a set of softs. I definitely encourage you to go check out the Joker Series website. I've got the document made for this specific track, so you can see where the limits are, where you need to have your turn signal on by, where the Joker lap driver is protected, along with the entire lobby settings I have in there as well. And the cars, all the information you need is on the website. I will gladly, mention them if asked. But if you can't get a hold of me, go to the website. Pretty much everything's there. I don't know if these cars could actually even handle comfort hards. I'm pretty sure these all come with sport tires when you buy them straight from Brand Central. Yeah, I'd mentioned earlier the Aston Martin, the 177, is actually an invite-only car, so that throws a little bit of a wrench in here as well. But that's also why there's 3 cars as an option. So if you don't own that one and don't have an invite, you still have 2 cars to choose from. You know, your Italian V12 Screamer and your American V8 muscle car. Alright, see if you can get the Corvette slowed down. It's weird. You get to a point where you feel like you've overslowed the car, and then you get to the corner and you find out you haven't overslowed the car. Yeah, depending on when you take the Joker lap. I mean, if Josh is planning on being in the lead, now this will be tricky. Again, it's not going to be like Tsukuba Josh, where you can get 3 seconds ahead, take the Joker, and stay in the lead. This one is going to have a much bigger loss of time when you take the Joker lap. I haven't actually timed it to see what it was. That's something I need to figure out. Is if it's like Daytona, you lost about 11 seconds. This one might actually be worse because you have to come to such... you have to slow down so much to make that first 90-degree corner. And all the other cars are doing so much faster. I have a feeling you might actually lose more than the 11-second loss that we saw at Daytona. In fact, it looks like you're down 12.8 on your Ferrari time. But we'll just say 12 seconds, 12 to 13 seconds of time lost. So that gets to factor into your strategy of when to do it. You know, because unless you have an enormous lead, you're going to end up taking the Joker and ending up back in traffic. Which I suppose, if you just wait and be the last person to take your Joker, then you've got that option. In this one, because there's such a long straight, I do have the cutoff time for the turn signal quite a ways back there. It's the first solid white line that you encounter after you come out of Parabolica. So it's after the start-finish line by, I don't know, probably less than 100 yards. So you have to have your turn signal on for quite a ways, which will give everybody... Honestly, you'll come out of Parabolica, you shouldn't have to worry about fumbling with your steering wheel or your controller to find how to turn your turn signal on or off. You should have plenty of time coming out of Parabolica to figure that out. And then people have all sorts of time to react as well. So yeah, Josh looks like he's been practicing here, taking a nice wide angle going into the Joker, which would imply that you don't have anybody right behind you. Because if you do have somebody behind you, that's obviously going to be a big problem. In fact, if there's anybody within even, again, like Daytona, somebody within 5 seconds of you, you get on the brakes and have to slow down so much, those people are going to come screaming up on you fast. And if they run into the back of you because you're slowed down and you haven't stayed off to the right, you're the one at fault for that one. So everybody, as you practice, definitely practice going into the Joker both with the ideal line, in case you have clean air, but also practice doing it with a much tighter line where you're going to have to slow down even that much more, just in case you're in that position. You've got somebody on your bumper the whole time. That's something you're going to want to test. Otherwise, you're going to overshoot it. Josh's front left is just about dead. That was a good joker. All right, VKG is back. Let's see, what was I figuring? All right, that's going to be interesting. I'm just looking at what I was finding for times and tire wear and fuel burn and all that sort of stuff. And compare that to what I'm seeing with Josh here. Gotta stop the car, Josh. You know what? Now that we got people in here, I didn't know how long I was going to keep the Joker lobby open. Ecstasy. Hello, sir. How you doing, Ecstasy? Assuming you're going to run the Joker Series race again this month, come on in, capture the settings, check out what the competition's doing. I saw Fernando just joined too, so we got stuff going on. Stuff's going good. Stuff's going good. Made a couple of changes to the stream here. I got a new intro video, some newer music. I got these headphones now, so I had to change the OBS setup and had to make some other changes to get it so that the headset works right. I got the chat now coming across on the screen instead of the chat reader. I hear the chat reader, but you guys don't, so that's a change. Been working on some things this week. Trying to refine my presentation. Didn't get her slowed down. You know, that might be the other thing, too, is maybe you wait. If you're going to be able to run softs, wait and try to take the Joker while you're on softs instead. Oh, I like this. VKG's got a police liveried Corvette. Oh, I like that. Josh back testing the 177. Fernando in the Berlinetta throws the Joker on the side. Yeah, Esta, you could you could still stop in real quick just to get the settings. Otherwise, like I mentioned earlier, on the website, all the settings are there, so you can always just bring that up, make your own lobby with all the exact settings, because I literally screenshotted the whole thing. But if you want to be extra triply sure, you can come in and just save this lobby, because this lobby is the settings I'll be using for the event. Everybody trying to figure out the breaking points on these things. It's hard. I mean, definitely do not mean to make fun of anybody. It's difficult trying to figure it all out. Well, as usual, I've tried to make it so there's some strategy involved. Like, you're probably going to have a hard time if you just grab a car and go. and have not tested anything. But to each their own. I know plenty of you guys out there are much better at just hopping in a car and knowing what to do. Oh, sure. Josh here coming up to a Ascari. Try to be smooth through a Ascari there. Oh, sure. I mean, Daytona, the cars were all pretty evenly matched. Of course, the Corvettes had, you know, tire and fuel issues that people had to manage, but had more raw top speed. Tsukuba seemed, I mean, I really, I've said this a number of times, I wish someone like Josh would have done some of the other cars just for the sake of doing them, to see if, because he was getting, actually a number of these guys were getting better times than I got in my testing. Because I'm not the most talented driver. I think I got some skill, but there are definitely some more skilled drivers, and Josh is certainly one of them. So I would have been curious to see if he would have switched over to like the A110 and see if maybe he could still beat all the 4Cs. I'm curious, once he's done doing his testing, he figures out what car he wants to use, runs the first stint or two, and if he ends up winning again, you know, depending on who else is going to show up, I'd really hope that someone like Josh or whoever might be faster will try another car just to see if they can get the same kind of result. And I'm also curious just to see how well my testing turns out as far as what I expect, how I expect things to go versus what people do. You know, at Tsukuba, I mean, it was a Alfa Romeo fest. Everybody took the Alfa Romeo. T-Case was the only one who tried the other cars in the race anyway. And I'll have to figure out when we ultimately go back to Tsukuba, which will be sometime next year actually, whether we do the same sort of thing. Low-powered cars, if we use the same cars, if I choose different cars, probably do different cars. I don't want to recycle the cars. Since I'm only doing this once a month, I'm going to have to make sure the cars are different. If I use the same cars, it's like you wait a whole year and then do the exact same race again. Although, for Tsukuba, what I could do is just simply take the 4C out, and it will be like a brand new race to everybody. That would be simple. But I was really happy with the variety we saw at Daytona. I'm hoping we get a similar kind of variety here at Monza, unless somebody determines what they think the meta is and everybody just follows suit. Oh! See, now there's where being on controller is helpful. Because Josh is on controller. I found whenever I did that, there was like no recovering from it. I was so screwed as soon as I lost it. Fernando holding some good speed through the high-speed corner. Ooh, having a hard time getting her woed down, though. Oh, hold on to it, Viking. Ooh, that's going to be a little late. Oh, he actually made it work. Nice. I thought he was late on the brakes. Oh, he's on the softs. That's part of it. Like, that thing turned in a lot better than I was expecting. It looks like Fernando's falling for that same thing I fell for quite a bit, is you get on the brakes and it feels like you're over slowing the car, so you get off the brakes only to find out that when it's time to turn the corner, you haven't actually gotten it slowed down enough yet. It's one of those where you need to kind of fight that instinct of, I'm going too slow, I need to start letting off on the brakes and just continue to slow it down. I'm trying not to give out too much advice because I want people to figure this stuff out, but I also don't want to see this become a wreck fest either, so give some pointers. I'm definitely not going to be commenting at all on what I perceive the strategies to be. That everybody has to figure out entirely on their own. I'm just telling you the settings. 49.3 for VKG. Well, Fernando's on an out lap. Oh, Vetter Dan's joined us. I'm guessing Vetter Dan is going to pick the Corvette simply out of principle. Ahoy, Dan! How you doing? Am I right? Are you going with the Corvette and not even testing the others just out of principle? Got some BHR on BHR action here. Make sure I got the settings right here. Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, everybody needs to probably try all three cars before you decide which one you're going to land on. But I would expect that if they're all fairly similar for you, that I'm guessing you're going with the Corvette. Go, VKG improves by 3 seconds. See? Get some practice in. Fernando. The 41.9. Switch to the Corvette myself. So I need to double check. Josh wants to do a whole race already? Well, let's see. Once everybody's gotten a bunch of practice in, if everybody wants to fire up a race, we certainly could. I'd love to give people the time to actually get a bunch of practice laps in before we do that. Let people get a feel for the car before we do a full race and people can work on strategy. Here we go, I get to do some testing with the little slipstream. I don't know how much slipstream you're going to get from these cars, but... Yep, you need an invite to buy the Aston. That's the little, wrench that was thrown into this one. And Josh got on the gas faster than I did. Well, there's definitely some slipstream. Whoa! Grass! Trying too hard to keep up. Well, I'm within a second of Josh's best time. Barely. 0.999. That was close. Oh, touch the grass. Can't do that. Definitely lost some time to Josh here. Not a ton of time. In fact, I was only 0.3 off of my previous lap. I think because I had that slipstream. Made a mistake. I caught up. Some more of that slipstream. He's pulling away from me a little bit. really got her woed down there. There's S to C. Let's see, so it was a high 37, low 38. Now that I took a joker. See where we end up. Lost some time skidding the tires there. Let's see, go from a 38, well, to a 47. So it's, what is that, 9? So 9.5 seconds? 9.5 seconds? Actually, that's not so bad. I thought it was going to be worse. Alright, let's see what these guys are doing. What's VKG got down to? A 39.3. So definitely has brought his time down from the 46 he had. 39.3 is decent. Vetter Dan trying to get a handle on things. Fernando trying to get a handle on things. Josh back in the Aston. See, VKG coming out of Parabolica. Let's watch him on a hot lap here. Is he better than his 39.3? We got J-Dog in here. And the BHR crew coming out. That's nice to see. Welcome, J-Dog. Oh, I got Fernando, slower car ahead. EKG managing it. Doesn't get into the back of him. But Fernando on the brakes real early. See it there, Fernando on the brakes earlier. Still can't get it woed down. VKG hit that just about right. Fernando off in a Ascari. KG wrestling with it in a Ascari, but keeps control. Oh, wrestles with it a bit coming out of... Or I'm sorry, not a Ascari, Lesmo. Wrestles with it a bit more coming out of the second Lesmo. Let's see, it looks like he's within 2.6 seconds of Josh now. He was... To put that in perspective, he was 12 seconds back when he set his first hot lap. So, big improvements. Oh, Fernando going around. Okay. Let's see where VKG ends up here. He's going to have an improvement. Oh, you know what? I did not... Yep, when I set all the limits, I set the PP limit as if I was going to do racing mediums only, and then I changed it to allow for racing softs, but I did not adjust the PP limits. I will have to do that. So on a stock Ferrari, what is the PP come to on a stock Ferrari with racing softs? If you've got it up already. Yeah, because I even gave some breathing room, but I didn't factor in the racing soft tire. And the Ferrari has the highest PP, so if I base it off the Ferrari on Racing Soft, we should be good. 721. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're gonna change that and reset the lobby quick here. And then I need to resave this with proper, you know, I'm gonna set it to 725 just because there seems to be some weirdness. Actually, you know, I'm even gonna set it to 30. And I will have to re-screenshot that. See, this is why we test. So I'm glad you guys are coming in to do this, to find my flaws. Everybody to resave the lobby. Although the PP limit, I mean, that doesn't change the handling or the tire wear or the fuel wear. So if somebody wasn't going to use the Ferrari, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Better Dan on the outlap. Josh Moment hunting him in the Aston Martin. I like the old school Corvette racing livery. I dig that. Whoa, going wide. Bring her back on track, Dan. Let's see what Dan gets done this time. I don't know if Josh is close enough for some slipstream. He might be. Josh going a bit wide, but holding on to it. Better Dan getting her slowed down. Barely gets it slowed down, but does it. Josh through there nice and smooth. Coming up on Lesmo 1. Better Dan keeping it tight. Coming up to Lesmo 2. Again, touches the curb. Keeps the car planted. It's so easy for that rear end to come around on you. Coming out of Lesmo 2. Coming up to Ascari. Gotta get her slowed down. He does. Let's see, he's in third gear, coming around the second half, up to fourth on exits. Staying ahead of Josh. Get her slowed down for Parabolica. Ooh, goes in deep. Oh, he went deep on the outlap too. Josh might be able to get by now. He's going to carry more speed. Whoa, Dan must have just clipped the AstroTurf. Gets a 39.9. His first hot lap here in this session. J-Dog also rocking the Corvette. I remember watching J-Dog in BHRL, and he is not a slow driver. He is also pretty quick, so be anxious to see what he can do here. Puts down a 38.6. Nice. Fernando still going with the Ferrari. Coming up on Parabolica. Gets it slowed down. You don't want to get on the gas too early because it'll push you so wide. He managed that pretty well. Comes across with a 46.1. All right, so I'm going to give everybody a bit of a visual here. I'm going to go around the track, and I'm going to park. I'm going to park on the line where you need to have your turn signal on by. So that way everybody kind of gets that visual indicator. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wasn't paying attention. People can get a visual indicator of where they need to have their turn signal on by. Oops, somebody lost it out of Lesmo 2. Alright, so your turn signal has to be on, your right turn signal has to be on before the solid white line, which is, where is it? Right here. Right by, just before these stewards on the right there. There you go. I'll stay parked here just for a minute as everybody makes their hot lap. So I'm in like the overhead view, which puts it behind the pit guys. That's funny. Yep, this white line here. Like I said, so there's the stewards. That steward tower is right after this white line. So you could also use them as an indicator. There is also the, where was it? Can I do this? Yeah, I can do this with a controller. Oh yeah, there's also that black bar right there that's hanging out over the track. So this line is between that black bar and that steward stand. And like I said, it's maybe, so there's the start-finish line back there where that tower is. This is maybe, I guess, 100 yards past that, something like that. So again, you've got your visual indicators that you need to look for. That's where you need to have your turn signal on by. And then you've got the whole rundown to the chicane. Ah, he's getting the 177. Let's see, who's coming around here? BKG. All right, so everybody should have had a chance to see it. I hope that makes sense. Oh, Josh is back in the Ferrari. He's got a 37.9. Although that might have been in the 177. Whoa, big slide. Parabolica. Better Dan with a 3-second penalty. Riding the struggle bus a bit. Trying to get that Corvette to work. Oh, and Dan's on softs, too. I'm curious, Dan, if you pit, did you pit on lap 5 to put the softs on? Or are you really managing your tires that well that you've barely used the softs at all after 5 laps? I don't believe that. That looks like about the tire wear you would have after 1 lap. Yeah, that's what I thought, that you pitted. That makes sense. Oh, VKG got down to a 38.6. So that's even faster than what he had. I think he was in a 39 something before I reset the lobby, so getting faster. Four laps and the tire was gone, huh? I'll be anxious to start hearing from you guys. I don't know if you want to collaborate in the Joker Series channel, or if you guys would be willing to DM me once you start doing your tire wear and fuel wear runs, what your results are, so I can compare that to what I was getting. The one thing I did not do is I did not actually test the racing softs. I did test the racing mediums, but I don't know how many laps I can get on racing softs. That isn't something I actually tested out. I just decided to go with it and give people the option, let people figure it out themselves. I kind of want to be surprised by some of this. I don't want to know all the answers and know what the best strategy is. I come up with what I think a good strategy would be and try to balance that across the different cars with their strengths and weaknesses to get some alternate strategies going. But I'd like to see if somebody comes up with a strategy of their own that I didn't think of. Ecstasy with a 37.2 on the racing softs. Josh Moment with a 37 flat on the racing mediums. That is a good time. Like Ecstasy. Ecstasy just has a knack for running my livery pretty raw with no changes. Although, when I make these, when I announce the events, I keep them generic. I don't put my name on it. I just put the Joker Series logos. But I keep my name off of them so people can add their own touches to it. That, and I even keep the liveries a little minimal. So again, there's room on the car without having to, that you don't have to remove anything. You could just add some of your own touches to it if you want to. Whoa! Whoa! Ecstasy went a little deep on the entrance, and Josh Moment lost it on the exit. Like Better Dan's got down to a 39 flat. He's run it twice. 38 flat. Okay. Okay, I see you. Josh Moment has gotten down to a 36.2. Been drifting. Is that how you're getting? Are you having to drift to get the faster time, or are you now drifting just for the fun of it? Over there drifting in the chicane. Watch Josh has some fun here. Although now he's probably typing. KG back out after going in for, or resetting for tires and fuel. Better Dan on racing softs. So let me see, it looks like lap 6 must have pitted. So has done 2 laps, and the tire is down that far. That is eating that tire. So 3 laps done, but over 3/4 of that front left is gone. That means to get a 4th lap, he'll have to manage that tire a little. Hey, I love seeing everybody have a custom livery. Not just the plain paint job, absolutely. Oh boy, he's still got to get through Parabolica, and that... I don't think the tire's going to last. I think Parabolica is going to be a huge struggle. Oh. Well, there's still a little white left on the tire. You're actually watching it tick down. There, tire's gone. Coming to the pits, Dan. So yeah, 4 laps. That's all you're getting on that. Dan's back out on the softs again. Continuing to see what he can do on those soft tires. I will remind you, racing mediums are required, so you'll have to do at least 1 run on mediums. And then see if you can make the softs last long enough. Alright, Josh has the fastest lap, but with him gone, it looks like Ecstasy is currently got our lap leader. Although I don't know what the time is. It looks like it was in a session that he has since reset from. Ooh. Oh man, it was a late night last night. 37-2. 37-2 in the Ferrari. That is a good time. KG still running a racing medium stint. Fernando on a racing medium stint. Oh, bit of a drift going into the fast right-hander. I don't know what the name of that corner is. It's like J-Dog is back. Oh, Fernando on a personal best in Sector 1 by 2 1/1000ths of a second. Oh, but gets a penalty going through the chicane. J-Dog's going to come out in the Aston Martin. Better Dan with a 37-1. Ecstasy had the 37-2, so Better Dan just beat Ecstasy by less than a tenth. Although keep in mind, Better Dan's on the racing softs, Estacy's on the racing mediums. BKG coming through Ascari here. See what his first hot lap of this session ends up being. We're up to Parabolica. Parabolica is such an awkward corner, trying to keep the speed. It's like you either don't slow down enough and you push yourself wide coming out of it, or you overslow the car and now you feel like you're just crawling to get back to where you can hammer it. Because you still can't hammer it too early. If you end up slowing down too soon, and then you're like, crap, I need to get back to speed, so then you hammer it. Now you can be slow at corner entrance and still push wide on corner exit. Oh, big drift. Big drift going through there. Does not pick up a wall pen. Didn't hit it hard enough. Did slow down his lap, though. He's 1.7 seconds slow on this one. Fernando. BKG just caught up to him out of nowhere. I'm not sure if Fernando was recovering from a spin or... Better Dan with a 3-second penalty. It does look like the pit road here at Monza must not be that long. Because Dan pitted, and he only lost about 10 seconds in the pits. Is that right? That seems like a very small amount of time to lose in a pit stop. Goes wide, coming out of Ascari. Will serve that penalty. Ecstasy with the half second. The penalties here at Monza can be brutal. Ooh, barely holds on to it. 20 seconds. Well, but you just pitted like 3 laps ago and it said you did a 1:47. Yeah, the math doesn't make sense looking at your lap times. So if you pitted back on lap 11, it said you did a 1:47, which is 10 seconds lost from your 1:38, 1:37 that you ran. So maybe it's a 20-second pit stop, but you only lose 10 seconds of lap time? Yeah. Oh, I see. Because you lose some of it at the in lap, and you lose 10 more seconds on the out lap. Okay, got it. So 20 seconds. So there's some more knowledge for people if they're trying to figure out whether they do a 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 stop. You got 20 seconds to make up by trying to do 1 less pit stop. Or you have to see if you can make up 20 seconds of time with the faster tire. J-Dog in the Ferrari. I thought J-Dog was going to come back in the 177. But he's in the Ferrari. Or maybe he didn't have the Ferrari or the 177. Whoa, Fernando. BKG with some avoidance there. Good one. Only down 1.5 tenths on his personal best for Sector 1, and that's with having to avoid Fernando. Looks like he's getting some consistent times under a 140. Looks like he had a 142 in there. Better Dan just changed tires again. Ecstasy down in the 137s. A 137 flat, although that was the out lap, then a 137.8. We'll follow Ecstasy for the rest of this lap. See if they get another 137. I will say, a 1:37 around here in these cars is a quick time. Make that car. Make the car work for you. The Ferrari? Whoa! Missed Ascari entirely. Oh! And it won't open. That's annoying. You have to clear your cache. Oh, J-Dog left again. How about I ask? It's too tall. I don't have enough space to like really use my keyboard properly because my steering wheel is like right there. Oh yeah. Whoops. That didn't work. Typically your upload is going to be slower than your download, depending on your service provider. Some service providers have their upload and download at the same speed, particularly if you have fiber. But if you have cable, Usually, most cable companies do the upload speed as a fraction of your download speed, but 42 meg still should work. Going to ask if these guys actually want to run a full 20 lap practice. Whoa, SC. Lost it coming out of Lesmo 1. Alright, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to put you guys on break, and then I'll come back and see what the consensus is as far as whether we run a practice race, or whether we just continue to let people just run practice laps. So, I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, we be back. Alright, so it looks like Esta and Dan want to run a full race. See if they want to run a full 20 laps. Or if they want to run 10. Has to see with the 3-second bend. Well, Fernando, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining the lobby and getting some practice in. I look forward to seeing what kind of times you can get when you're sober. This these cars and this track does require some concentration and reaction time. See what these guys say about running a race. I don't know, Josh, if you're still trying to get back in, if you wanted to run a race, if J-Dog wanted to come back in and actually put a race session in. You know what I forgot to do is indicate that this is a Joker Series practice in OBS there. I forgot to put that on. But now it's there. Alright, nobody's responding as to whether they want to do a full race or a half race. I mean, usually you can do a half race, and that gets you at least enough data. $11:30. Wait, what time zone are you in? That's 11:30. That's 2 hours ahead of me. 10:30 is East Coast, so you're another hour ahead of East Coast? Oh, that's right, you're in Canada. Right, Dan wants to do a full race. Gonna check with VKG here. Starting a lap here. Although, you know, I suppose I could just start a full race, and if people want to duck out halfway through, they could. If we do this, I'm gonna... Whoa! There's the wall. Lesmo 2 will get you. Man, when I was doing all my practicing, Lesmo 2 got me a lot. Alright, yeah. Alright, I'm going to turn off the qualifier because there's only going to be the two of you. We don't need to run the qualifier. And Esta, if you want to just run, you know, 5 laps, 10 laps, and then duck out, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's just you're an hour ahead of even U.S. East Coast time, so I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. They're so advanced that they're ahead of us. So, Esta, do you want to just get in on the start of this? Or, well, 11:30, you're probably just going to duck out right now, right? I'm assuming. That's fair. BKG's good to go. All right. Good luck, guys. I will be spectating. See how you do. Figure those strategies out. Take some notes. Should be able to use the controller for this instead of the wheel. Front runners, they're way up there. BKG gonna lead us off. And we're off. Alright, good luck, guys. Both in Corvettes, so we'll see how two Corvette strategies play out. Better Dan staying glued to BKG. All the way to the chicane. They both get it woed down very nice. Smooth through the chicane. And BKG got a little away there. Late break into that corner made that work. Keeps it off the green stuff. Whoa! Lost the rear end just a bit there. But not far back, still within a second. Within a second, he'll have slipstream. If he can make it through Parabolica okay. Might be able to catch up to VKG on the long straight here. He's within a second. He's barely going to have the slipstream. Probably isn't going to close that whole second. No, in fact, BKG was getting away there. The slipstream was starting to take effect, but need to get closer. Need to try to get within like 7/10 or so, and then you're going to have a big slipstream effect. And making it through the chicane nice and tidy. Caught up a whole bunch of time through the chicane there, down to within a half second when he was a whole second down. I was running some test laps with Josh earlier. The slipstream does seem to be pretty significant in these cars. I was wondering, being road cars, whether or not it would be. Oh, VKG goes wide. Gathers it back up. Dan's going to be right on him. Could use this as a slingshot. Again, depending on how they get through Parabolica. He's within 3/10. That should be an easy slingshot. Late on the brakes. Right on him. Don't push it too wide. Oh, it gets a better exit to start with. Doesn't even need the slipstream. Get this. Oh no, is going to need the slipstream to get this pass done. Yeah, see now catching up. Oh, but doesn't want it. Yeah, they were going to end up being side by side going into this corner. That would not be fun. But staying glued within a tenth of a second, put a blanket over these two. This is a fun battle to watch. These two appear to be fairly evenly matched. They are both A+ drivers. A+ rated by Polyphony at least. Through Ascari. Ooh, Dan with the better exit to Ascari. Oh, but then lost it right at the end of the exit. He had caught up. Then VKG pulling away. That slipstream is going to halt the progress. Dan keeps it a little closer to the apex through there. Oh, but is pushing wide now. Barely holds on to it. But yeah, now that... Alright, he's got 3/10. He's catching up. Could get the slingshot this time. Oh, maybe not. It's not. The slipstream is not affecting as much. Now he's really catching up. But it's too late. It's like once they start getting up into that like 180 mile an hour plus, the slipstream really has a big effect, but at that point you're getting close to the corner. Then again, Dan might be just playing it smart. Just, you know, trying to save save fuel. Just maintain pace. We see they're both on, yep, they're both on racing mediums. The tricky part is going through Ascari, especially. Ascari and Parabolica, you're going to have that dirty air. Oh, Vetterdam misses his braking point, has to take evasive action. VKG going to slow down for him. Let's see, I probably don't have the replay in time. No, I hit the button way too late. We let Vetterdam by. Vetterdam with the dirty tires. Well, it's either they want to stay together just to practice together, or maybe VKG hit the brakes too early and Vetterdam wasn't expecting it. I missed the nuance of how exactly that played out. Holding a lot of speed there. Getting her slowed down. Nice. Got her slowed down just in time. Still has that 1.5 seconds penalty to go, though. And that's going to allow VKG to retake the lead. Both of them keeping it on the track for the Lesmos. VKG nice and late on the brakes. Carrying lots of speed into Ascari. Plenty of speed out of Ascari too. Alright, looks like they are still wanting to just stay together. Practice like teammates. Like to see that. Alright, we're back to where we started with VKG just barely ahead of Dan. Or if they actually do a little bump drafting on the straight here, they could both improve their lap time. Let's see, we are 5 laps in on this run. Better Dan with a little bit more wear on his tires. VKG managing his tires just slightly better. And these guys just a quarter second apart. Trying to carry as much speed as possible coming out of Ascari. VKG had put like a 1/10 of a second on Better Dan there. Now coming into Parabolica. Oh, VKG had to catch a slide. That's going to cost some speed. Better Dan making up some time. He's going to be able to get the pass done this time around. He has definitely got more speed, and he is ahead. That pass is done. See, the slightest bit of mistake. Whoa! Had to catch that. He's still within a second, though. There's no reason to panic. In fact, now he gets to do a little bit of following. You know, figure out how the strategy needs to change when you're behind somebody instead of leading. Like he's still settled in. In fact, he's caught back up a little bit. He's now only 6/10 down. So gained 4/10 just in the last couple corners. See if Dan's able to hold him off. Or if Dan was being towed along the whole time. Looks like Dan had a much better exit to Ascari. Now stretching that lead out. VKG a couple of 10ths down. See how they handle Parabolica here. Pretty even through there. But VKG does have the slipstream, and it looks like it is helping. He is catching up. Let's see, we are 7 laps in. Tires look to be about... Oh boy, Better Dan is being much harder on his tires. Better Dan's front left is at about 50%. VKG's is at about a quarter. He has about half the tire wear on his front left tire. Now, normally you would see something like that when there's a difference between somebody driving on a wheel and somebody driving on a controller, but I believe Better Dan is on his wheel. Unless his wheel's on the fritz and he's driving on controller, that would explain part of it, but would be something to take into account. When we were watching Better Dan practice earlier, he was barely getting 4 laps out of those racing softs. You know, I'm not sure if VKG could get 8 But look, VKG is still at... Like, he hasn't worn the tire very much on this lap. It's still at... It's maybe at a third. But Vetter is well below 50%. I mean, it looks like he's wearing that front left at double the rate that VKG is. Which in this race, tire management is going to be a thing. I mean, heck, with that being said, we are done with 8 laps. Yeah, I'd be curious to see where VKG's tires get to by the end. I mean, he's above 50%. I don't know if that's enough to be able to do a nose stop. I mean, look at Dan's. By the end of lap 9 here, that front left, I mean, he'll make it 10 laps. He could do 2 mediums, and I think that would work. But he has got to be... That's got to be harder to control. It's definitely... Whoa! Oh, VKG just lost the rear end. Let's watch that back and see what happened. It looked like he just got a little bit of grass. Or not grass, but got off into the slippery stuff here on the right. Oh yeah, there is just a little bit of... Or no, it's the AstroTurf. Yep. Just enough to upset the car. That's a lot of damage. And 3 seconds of penalties. He's going to come in. It is light damage. It is not heavy damage. So you don't need to come in to repair. In fact, it's repaired already. But he's going to go ahead and change the tires. He'll be able to make it the rest of the way. I wonder if he's putting softs on. Nope, still on the mediums. Let's see where Vetter Dan's at. He's going to finish up. He's about halfway through the 10th lap. Still has some tire left. Probably about 20%. So it looks like 10 laps is still doable. Looks like for Dan, this might be a 10 and 10. I mean, otherwise, if he could make it, somehow make it 12, do a 12, 4, and a 4. Unless he can squeeze out a fifth lap on the softs. Got the turn signal on. I don't know if that means he's going to do the Joker or if he's coming into the pits. Probably the pits. Yep. I haven't seen either of the guys run the Joker lap yet. Made it through the first half of the race. No Joker laps done. So that requirement is still needs to be completed. BKG serving that big 3-second penalty. See, Vetter Dan is back out. Fresh set of rubber. Still has half his fuel, so it looks like we'll not need to refuel in this race at all. VKG's fuel is better than half, so he's got more than 20 laps worth. He's good to go. Oh, he must have been listening. Gonna get that Joker lap out of the way. Gets through. Nice. Nice. Gets it slowed down. Had the graphical anomaly. Car jumped. Going over the cones. In fact, I'll probably be able to see that. Comes out. Jump. silly Gran Turismo. Alright, so now we'll follow along with Dan here. See when he's gonna get his Joker lap done. So this is his out lap, so he would be able to do the Joker lap on the next one if he decides to. He does have his turn signal on. I don't know if he left it on from before or if he's indicating that he's going to take the Joker. He's on the brakes. Trying to get her slowed down. Does get it slowed down. Gets a lot of that curb. Get that cone out of here. All right, so now both the drivers have completed their Joker lap. Vetter Dan currently has the fastest lap at the 138.5. VKG's fastest lap is a 139.3. So that is 0.8 slower. But VKG has been managing his tires much better. We will see if that continues on this second stint, or for the second half of the race. Currently 0.3 behind on his fastest lap. Oh, Vetter Dan is stopped. Oh, I think he just wants to get some more practice with VKG either ahead or behind him. Not a bad strat. You know, just running this all by yourself isn't really race practice, so he wants VKG to take the lead again, which he happily does. Dan wants to do some following. Oh, gets a lot of slipstream. Oh, they're going to go too wide. Nope. Dan got in front. Holds on to it. Oh, that was a good pass. Can we actually get a replay of that? Yeah, it comes up on him as they come into the braking zone. He has... Oh, VKG let out early. Well, either Dan got on the brakes late to get ahead, or VKG backed out a little early and just let him have it, knowing that they would both be faster if they weren't going through it side by side. Side by side could be very dangerous in that corner. The slightest tap, and you'll go off into oblivion. But VKG going to get some follow. Whoa! Dan, hold on to it. He held on to it. Oh, that was scary. But Viking now going to get some much-needed following practice. Earlier he had that spin after Dan got around him. You know, I don't know if he's like me. When I'm following somebody, I make more mistakes. I make way more mistakes while following another driver than I do if I'm in the lead. Because I'm always trying to change up my line to figure out how to get past them. I'm usually really eager to get past them. Misa and Mista, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I appreciate that. Gifted membership goes to Turtle Shell. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Nice shout out. Let people know memberships are available. Aside from your typical membership stuff, the Joker level of membership does allow that if we can get enough people at that level, we will hold, during the Joker Series event, a split of just the Joker level members, and prizes will be handed out. But we need to get, I would say, at least 10 people at that level willing to race on race day, and we will have a race for prizes. So keep those memberships coming. Yes, thank you so much, Misa. Appreciate you. How you feeling about how your guys racing here? Getting some good practice. He's made a lot of improvement just from when we first got into this lobby. That's sort of Vikings MO, right? Just improve, put in the practice. It pays off. Ooh, getting a little squirrely under braking there. Keeps a handle on it. This guy's right around that 1 second back. Needs to reel that in a little bit if he's going to have the opportunity to maybe pull off something. Use that slipstream to get by. Lost a little more time in the chicane there. About a second and a half back, so now he is decidedly out of that slipstream range. Kind of maintaining that 1.5 second gap. Dan's just trying to... Dan wants to keep that gap where it's at or bigger, to not give VKG the opportunity to get that slingshot done. It's all about being consistent. There's going to be just 5 laps left once they get to the line. Let's see, Vetter Dan has put in a new fastest lap. That's why he's been able to stretch this out, a 1:38.1. But VKG did put it in a 1:38.6. So this lower fuel load is certainly letting the drivers go faster. But man, 38.6, his fastest lap of the race, but it happened to be at the same time that Dan did a 38.1. Dan did another 38.5 here. VKG with a 39 flat. 1.6 back. 5 laps to go. Ooh, and he is 2/10 purple. Absolutely nailed that first sector. I'll also mention, while we are watching this race wind down, this practice race, those of you out there watching, if you haven't already, remember to do all the YouTube things. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell. And if you come around here a lot, consider becoming a member. Check out the merch store. Got a link to it in the description. Got some cool Salamander Racing stuff. If this Joker series keeps gaining momentum, I'll start putting out some Joker series merch, but I kind of want to wait till it gains in popularity, or see if it gains in popularity before I do that. Here, let's check the tire wear again. Oh, you know what? Dan has really reeled in the tire wear. I don't know if he was listening to the broadcast here and made some adjustments, but now he is on par with VKG as far as tire wear goes. That was pretty worrying, those first 10 laps where that tire wear was so bad. He figured something out and reined that in. I don't know if it was some spin, because he did have that off-track incident. I don't know if that just chewed up the tire, but I don't think it would have chewed it up that much. VKG again, nailing the first sector. He's got that first sector down. But it appears that Better Dan has sectors 2 and 3. I just noticed Dan is now 4.8 seconds up, so I don't know if DKG is just starting to push a little too hard, trying to catch up. But Better Dan is almost a half second purple. Coming out of Ascari, little bit of a bump there, hitting the curb, but kept it under control. See what kind of a time Better Dan ends up with here. 37.998 breaks the minute 38 barrier. DKG with a 39.4. Just 3 laps to go. Now, obviously, during the event, there will be more cars. 5 seconds back, that's going to be a lot to make up. Better Dan would have to have a mistake to make up that. But he could be just managing his pace, staying ahead of whatever other drivers might be out there. It's like Dan here has had a lot of consistent minute 40 or a minute 38s with that one just below, but a lot of minute 38s. VKG looks like a lot of minute 40s, but he did have a 39 flat and that 38.6 in there. So looks like maybe needs a little more consistency, but all in all, a solid run for both these guys. I'll see now, Better Dan's tire wear is kicked up again. If you remember, VKG pitted, I believe it was a lap earlier, or maybe it was 2 laps earlier than Better Dan did. I think it was 1 lap earlier. Let's see, he pitted on 10. VKG was on lap 9. But Better Dan's tires are now significantly more worn. God, for most of this stint, tire wear was pretty even, but he must have, trying to kick it into another gear, get some more speed, has really worn those tires down. But with only 2 laps to go, they will last. I don't think there's any fear that the tires are not going to last. But he will start losing some grip. In fact, he's probably already losing some grip. I mean, VKG's at about 50%, so he may be losing some grip too, but not nearly as much. Better Dan has just slightly more fuel, it looks like. Whoa, got a little wide there, but held on to it, did not lose it. You know, when we do the dailies here, if you go off wide there coming out of Ascari, you always get a pen. But in this lobby, you can go pretty wide without getting a pen. There are plenty of other places you can get a pen easy. But on the exit to Ascari, it looks like you can go really wide. We are on the final lap. Dan just put in a 38.3 on that one. BKG with a minute 40.2. Did have a 38.5 back on lap 18. That was his new personal best. Might have been his last dash at a good lap. Dan has a significant 7-second lead. Just needs to bring it home. Hey, Logan. Hello. Nice to see you stop in. Let's see, let's look at this tire wear. It's like you see Dan now is down to, what is that, 20, 25% left? VKG with one extra lap on the set of tires is only at about 50% wear. So, Better Dan, whatever you were doing for the first half of the stint was really working. And whatever you changed up for the second half, it's really starting to eat your tires away. Interesting to see what he says in chat. He goes off in Parabolica. Absolutely. We had like 6 people in here at one point. People getting all the practice, trying all the cars. Better Dan gives VKG the win. But Better Dan definitely had that race. Well done, guys. VKG with the gimme victory. So Dan, what happened earlier when you went off? Was it, did you miss your braking point? Did VKG get on the brakes too early? I didn't quite figure out what happened there. Without people falling asleep. Yeah. Well, hey, I'll do some more practice lobbies in the future if we can get more people. You know, try to get 6, 8, 10, 14 people in to run a practice race. We could certainly do that, but thanks for sticking around. Going through, you definitely had... Dan was flying. Dan was absolutely flying. Yeah, so Dan, I don't know if you know what you were doing that was causing you to have significantly more tire wear than Viking was having. So VKG managing his tires really well. Well, actually, I don't know if it's that VKG was managing it really well or if Dan was just abusing his tires really bad. But something you're going to want to practice probably. Yeah, just wrapping this one up. Yep, they certainly do. But I'm telling you, I mean, VKG did have some slower lap times, so I'm not sure if that's why the front left was being saved so much, or if he was just being better on the tires. Yeah, that definitely could be it. But all in all, yeah, I mean, definitely a tale of, you know, two different drivers, 2 different styles. But all in all, still a good race. 2 Corvettes, though. I'm interested to see if we can get some of you guys on the track in the other cars. Try to get a 177, get the Aston Martin, the Ferrari, and the Corvette out there and see how they all work together. You know, if like we saw at Daytona, if there's some of them that are faster in a straight line and others are faster in the corners, and if that's going to keep things more interesting from a viewer's perspective, because there will be passing going on. Yep. It barely made it on fuel, but it does make it on fuel. So, something you'll have to watch to make sure you don't, you know, while running the race, start revving it out more, and all of a sudden you're short because you just made it. But no, I love to hear what you guys had to think of how that went. Something you'll want to test for sure. For sure. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for this stream. We had that practice race out of the way. Like I said, I'll get some more in the future. Again, remind everybody that to do the YouTube things, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member. We do have memberships available. Thank you to Misa for the gifted membership. Always appreciated. But yeah, and thanks to everybody who came out just to do some practice tonight. This was kind of I didn't know what the stream was even going to be. I was doing some testing with the headset, with the on-screen chat now, and I made a bunch of different changes to how my stream goes in order to do some improvements, and it seems to have worked out. So but yeah, so I'm going to sign off. Again, thanks for everybody who came out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow night or not. I do have an event to go to, but I might be home in time to get another stream in tomorrow night, in which case we'll do some Joker Series stuff if there's enough people interested in that. Otherwise, I can do some other things. For those of you that are members of the channel out there, I did put a poll up out in a YouTube post, just kind of asking, what do you guys want to see more of around here? Or do you like exactly what we're doing? Doing Joker Series practice in the PHG season, if we do PHG practice. If you want me to put up an NRL practice lobby for people to come in, I'd be happy to host and help commentate on that. Just to get people, again, more of that practice time, specifically you PHG guys, got to keep the team together, maybe do some coaching. Or if you guys would rather see me knock out some liveries, or if you desperately want me to go back to doing daily races or something like that. But, just anxious to see what people think. So, but until then, everybody take it easy. Peace out. Be nice to one another. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.